Hi students, in last class we learned S-block elements up to diagonal relationship of lithium and magnesium. Because of this diagonal relationship, lithium and magnesium show resemblance in their properties. Resemblance means similarity. These two elements present in different groups but they exhibit similarity in their chemical properties. Now see the first one. Nitrides. These two elements, lithium and magnesium, form nitrides when they react with nitrogen, whereas other elements do not form this type of compounds. See this? 6Li plus N2 gives rise to 2Li3N. This is lithium nitride. Similarly, magnesium also reacts with nitrogen. Mg plus N2, 3Mg plus N2 gives rise to Mg3N2. This is magnesium nitride. 3Mg plus N2 gives rise to Mg3N2. Mg3N2 is called magnesium nitride. In this way, these two compounds react with nitrogen and form corresponding compounds. Those are called nitrides. Next one is carbonates. Both lithium and magnesium form carbonates. Lithium carbonate formula is Li2CO3, magnesium carbonate MgCO3. These two carbonates decompose on heating, whereas other carbonates are thermally stable. That means remaining elements of these two groups, first group and second group, carbonates are thermally stable. That means those are having stability up to high temperature, but Li2CO3 MgCO3 decompose on heating to corresponding oxides. See the equations. Li2CO3 gives rise to Li2O plus CO2. Carbon dioxide is released. This is lithium oxide. And MgCO3, magnesium carbonate, on heating decomposed to magnesium oxide plus CO2. So here Li2CO3 decomposes to Li2O, lithium oxide plus CO2, and magnesium oxide decomposes to magnesium oxide and CO2. The reason is Li2CO3 having more covalent character than ionic. Here lithium ion is smaller in size, that's why this ion can polarize large sized CO3 2- ion. CO3 2- is nothing but carbonate ion. Carbonate ion is polarized by small sized lithium ion, that's why this compound stability is less and decomposed to Li2O. Li2O is more stable than Li2CO3. And in the same way, magnesium carbonate also, magnesium having more polarizing power. So this magnesium ion Mg2 plus can polarize large sized CO3 2- ion to stable compound magnesium oxide, that is MgO. So because of this reason, these two carbonates undergo decomposition on heating. Next one is nitrides. Nitrates. These compounds, lithium and magnesium, form nitrates. Those are LiNO3, lithium nitrate, and magnesium nitrate, MgNO3 twice. This is magnesium nitrate. These two compounds undergo decomposition to form corresponding compounds on heating, whereas remaining nitrates, that means sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, on heating changed to nitrite. See the equations. LiNO3 gives rise to Li2O plus 2NO2 plus half H2O. So this is lithium nitrate lithium nitrate Lithium nitrate on heating change to lithium oxide Li2O and nitrogen dioxide NO2 plus half H2O. Next, in the same manner, magnesium nitrate MgNO3 twice. This compound also undergo decomposition on heating to magnesium oxide and nitrogen dioxide. See the equation, MgNO3 twice, MgNO3 twice gives rise to MgO plus 2NO2 plus half O2. Here NO2 means nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So magnesium nitrate on heating change to decompose to magnesium oxide and NO2 plus half O2, whereas remaining nitrates of first group, example NaNO3. Say this, NaNO3 gives rise to NaNO2 plus O2. 2NaO3, this one. So sodium nitrate NaNO3 on heating decomposed to sodium nitrite NaNO2. This is sodium nitrate, this is sodium nitrite plus oxygen are formed. Now say this, oxides. Oxides these two elements, lithium forms simple normal oxide Li2O, lithium oxide, and magnesium form magnesium oxide. And fifth one, these two elements cannot form any other type of oxides. That means superoxides and peroxides. These type of compounds cannot be formed by lithium and magnesium. Whereas remaining sodium, potassium, these type of elements can form peroxides and superoxides. Now see this one, last similarity in their behavior, hydration. These two elements, lithium and magnesium, having high hydration enthalpy. That means these are heavily hydrated. More number of water molecules are surrounded these ions, Li plus ion and Mg2 plus ions. That's why more amount of energy is released. That means these two elements have more hydration enthalpy compared to other elements. So in this way, these two elements form and exhibit similarity in their properties. Nitrites formation, carbonates behavior, and nitrates behavior, and oxides formation, and then hydration. In these five properties, lithium and magnesium elements show similarity due to diagonal relationship. Now see the chemical properties of first group elements. Chemical properties of first group elements. First one, reaction with oxygen. Oxygen is a highly reactive element. So with this oxygen, first group elements form oxides, corresponding oxides, lithium oxide, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. All these first group elements can react with oxygen and form corresponding oxides. The general reaction for the formation of oxides for first group elements is 4M plus O2 gives rise to 2M2O. Here M represents first group elements. This is the general equation. 4M plus O2 gives rise to 2M2O. Now instead of M, we can consider either lithium or sodium or potassium or rubidium or cesium. For example, take this lithium, 4Li plus O2 gives rise to 2Li2O, and sodium 4Na plus O2 gives rise to 2Na2O. This is sodium oxide, formula Na2O, and lithium oxide Li2O, lithium oxide Li2O. In the same manner, potassium, rubidium, cesium can also form similar type of oxides. In addition to these oxides, sodium can also form another type of oxide, that is 2Na plus O2 gives rise to Na2O2. Na2O2 means sodium peroxide. Sodium peroxide. And potassium forms another type of oxide, say this one, KO2. KO2 means potassium superoxide. Potassium superoxide. In this way, different types of oxides we can observe with oxygen from first group elements: oxides, peroxides, and superoxides. Oxides means oxygen oxidation number is -2. Whereas see the oxidation states of oxygen in these three types of compounds. In oxides, oxygen oxidation state -2. Oxygen oxidation state is -2, and peroxides, oxygen oxidation state is -1, and superoxides, oxygen oxidation state is -1/2. See this one, KO2. In this KO2, potassium always exhibits +1 oxidation state. We need to find out oxygen oxidation state, let it be X. 2 oxygen atoms are present in this compound, so total 1 plus 2x equal to 0, 2x equal to -1, x equal to -1/2. So in superoxides, oxygen oxidation state is -1/2. In peroxides, oxygen oxidation state. In peroxides, say this Na2O2. Sodium always exhibits +1 oxidation state. Here 2 sodium atoms are present. So total positive charge in this compound is 2 plus for 1 oxygen x. 2 oxygen atoms are there. So total 2 plus 2x equal to 0. 2x equal to -2. X equal to finally -1. So in peroxides, oxygen oxidation state is -1. Remember this important point. Oxides, oxygen oxidation number is -2, peroxides -1, superoxides is -1/2. This type of peroxides and superoxides cannot be formed by lithium and magnesium. Keep it in mind. Next, reaction with water. See this, reaction with water. Second property, with water, alkali metals react with water and form corresponding hydroxides. Those are basic in nature. Because of this, we can say these compounds are alkali metals. See this general reaction, M plus H2O gives rise to MOH plus H2. Balance this. Take a compound, take any alkali metal, 2Li plus 2H2O gives rise to 2LiOH plus H2O. This side 2 hydrogens and 2 hydrogens, 2 plus 2 4, 2 into 2 4. Next, take any other, 2Na plus 2H2O gives rise to 2NaOH, 2NaOH plus H2O. Here sodium hydroxide, it is a basic compound. That's why these elements are known as alkali metals. In this way, with water, they form basic compounds. And reaction with ammonia solution. Ammonia solution. Reaction with ammonia solution. Ammonia formula is NH3. See the general equation. M plus X plus Y NH3 gives rise to M NH3 X times plus E into NH3 Y times. This is ammoniated. See, this is the general equation. M plus X plus Y NH3 gives rise to M NH3 X times plus E NH3 Y times minus. This M NH3 X is called ammoniated cation because it has positive charge. Ammoniated cation responsible for conductivity. This is ammoniated electron. This ammoniated electron absorbs a suitable wavelength of light from visible region and are responsible for blue color exhibition. It exhibits blue color because of this ammoniated electron and exhibits paramagnetic behavior. So in this way, alkali metals, here this is general equation. Instead of M, we can take a lithium, sodium, potassium, whatever the alkali metal. So general equation is M plus X plus Y NH3 gives rise to M NH3 X times plus E minus E NH3 Y times minus. This is ammoniated cation responsible for conductivity. This is ammoniated electron responsible for exhibiting blue color and exhibits paramagnetic behavior. So this is the reaction with ammonia. Next one is reaction with hydrogen. Already in the hydrogen chapter we completed alkali metals by reacting with hydrogen forms corresponding compounds. Those are called hydrides. Lithium hydride LiH, sodium hydride NaH, potassium hydride KH, cesium hydride CSH. Like this ionic compounds are formed. In this we have to remember negative oxidation state of hydrogen in these compounds. In metal hydrides, all these are metal hydrides. In these metal hydrides, hydrogen exhibits negative oxidation state, whereas in the remaining all its compounds, hydrogen exhibits positive oxidation states. So remember this point carefully. In metal hydrides only, hydrogen exhibits -1 oxidation state. See the general reaction in this. M plus H2 gives rise to MH. Take a compound 2Na plus H2 gives rise to 2NaH. This is sodium hydride. In this sodium hydride, oxidation state of hydrogen -1, sodium +1. So this one. Next, reaction with halogens. In the periodic table we learned halogens means 17th group elements. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. These elements are known as halogens because in early days these elements are extracted from sea salts. Halo means salts, gens means producing, salt producing elements. So these are known as halogens. These halogens can react with lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and form corresponding halides. See general reaction for this. M plus X2. Halogens are represented by X2. M plus X2 gives rise to Mx. So take an element 2Na plus Cl2 gives rise to 2NaCl. So these are chemical properties of first group elements. Reaction with oxygen, reaction with water, and reaction with ammonia solution, and reaction with hydrogen, and reaction with halogens. So these are the 5 chemical properties of alkali metals given in the syllabus. Next one, some important compounds formed by sodium. Sodium can form different types of compounds. Different types of compounds can form, in that some of the compounds are given in our syllabus. First one is sodium hydroxide. What is the formula of sodium hydroxide? NaOH. Say this one. Some important compounds of sodium. 3 compounds are given in our syllabus. First one is sodium hydroxide. Important compounds of sodium. See that NaOH. It is also called caustic soda. This NaOH is prepared by different methods. In industries, it is prepared by electrolytic process of brine solution. Brine solution means aqueous NaCl solution is called brine solution. This brine solution undergo electrolysis process. Then we can get NaOH, chlorine gas, hydrogen gas. So this process is called chlor-alkali process, because in this we are getting chlorine and alkali NaOH as products. That's why it is called chlor-alkali process. For this chlor-alkali process, suitable method is, example is Kastner-Kellner process. Kastner-Kellner process we can consider as example for chlor-alkali process, because in this Kastner-Kellner process also we are getting sodium hydroxide and hydrogen and chlorine gases as products. Now see the equation involved in this reaction. NaCl plus H2O gives rise to NaCl plus H2O gives rise to NaOH plus Cl2 gas plus H2 gas. This H2 and Cl2 are obtained in the gaseous state. Now check the balancing. 2 hydrogen atoms, 2 NaCl. Now this side 2 chlorine atoms are there, this side only 1 chlorine. Then 2 NaCl plus H2O. Here 2 NaOH, 2 hydrogens, 2 H2O, 2 oxygens. So equation is balanced. See this one, 2 NaCl, brine solution, aqueous NaCl solution is called brine solution. So electrolysis of brine solution produces NaOH, Cl2 gas and H2 gas. For this suitable process is Kastner-Kellner process. For this Kastner-Kellner, 2 scientists, Kastner and Kellner, 2 different scientists developed this process. For this used apparatus is this one. This is the used apparatus, Kastner-Kellner process. A rectangular tank divided into 3 partitions by arranging slates. This is one slate, this is another slate. These slates we can adjust according to our requirement By using these slides, it is divided into 3 compartments. Outer compartment, this one also outer compartment, and in the middle compartment, this is middle compartment. In outer compartment, a graphite rod is arranged. This is outer compartment. See this, outer compartment, electrolyte is NaCl solution. Aqueous NaCl solution acts as a electrolyte. This side also aqueous NaCl solution acts as a electrolyte. And anode is graphite. This is graphite anode. Here also graphite anode, and cathode is mercury. In this equipment, at the bottom, by covering 3 compartments, mercury is arranged. In the outer compartment, mercury acts as a cathode, and in the middle compartment, mercury acts as a anode. That is the special behavior of mercury in this process. So here graphite anode, mercury cathode, electrolyte NaCl, aqueous NaCl solution. In this side also same. And come to the central compartment. In this graphite is in this anode is mercury and cathode is iron. This is iron rods. These are iron rods hanged from the top. So these are acts as a cathode. In this electrolyte is NaOH solution. So in outer compartment, these are the reactions taking place. Reactions at anode. Already we know that at anode oxidation takes place. Cl minus ions by losing electrons converted to chlorine atoms. These chlorine atoms combine to one another and form Cl2 gas. At cathode, reduction takes place. That means gaining of electrons takes place. See this one. Na plus E minus gives rise to Na. That sodium combines with mercury present at cathode in outer compartment and converted to sodium amalgam NaHg. Now in the central compartment, electrolyte is NaOH and anode is mercury. Cathode is iron hanged from top. So these are iron. Now reactions in central compartment, anode from sodium amalgam, sodium loses electrons and change it to Na plus, and at cathode reduction takes place. Water molecule by accepting electrons change it to hydroxide ion. Equation is 2H2O plus 2E minus gives rise to 2NaOH plus H2. Here at anode, Na plus ions are formed. Here OH minus ions are available. These two combine with each other and form NaOH. Na plus OH minus NaOH. So see this, in the outer compartment chlorine gas is released, and in the middle compartment H2 gas is released and NaOH is formed. This is the Kastner-Kellner process. Now come to the physical properties of sodium hydroxide. See the physical properties. Sodium hydroxide is a crystalline solid and it is soluble very easily in water and form sodium hydroxide solution. It is a highly alkali. See the physical properties. First one is it is crystalline solid. Crystalline solid. Second one is soluble in water and forms highly alkali substance. That is nothing but NaOH. Already in the chemical properties we completed. 2Na plus 2H2O gives rise to 2NaOH plus H2. Next, it is a deliquescent substance. NaOH is a deliquescent substance. NaOH, it is deliquescent. What is the meaning of deliquescent? A substance which absorbs moisture from air and dissolves in it and change it to liquid. That is called deliquescent. By absorbing moisture from the atmosphere, a substance changed into liquid state, that is called deliquescent. NaOH is a deliquescent. That means if NaOH bottle is exposed to the atmosphere, that NaOH by absorbing moisture from air and change it to solution state. That's why we should be very careful while preserving NaOH. Moisture-free containers should be used for storage purpose of NaOH. So deliquescent substances examples are, see the examples: KOH, CaCl2, ZnCl2, FeCl3. Different types of substances, K2CO3. These are examples for deliquescent substances: NaOH, KOH, calcium chloride, zinc chloride, ferric chloride, potassium carbonate. All these substances can absorb moisture from air and change it to solution state. Next, similar type of definition is there with small difference, that is nothing but hygroscopic substance. Hygroscopic substance. Between deliquescent and hygroscopic substance, small difference is there. The substance which absorb or adsorb moisture from air is called hygroscopic substance, but this substance does not convert it into liquid state. That is the main difference between deliquescent and hygroscopic. Listen once again. Deliquescent, after absorbing moisture, change it to solution state, but hygroscopic does not convert into solution. It retains the water molecules. Whatever the physical state is present before adsorption of moisture, same physical state is maintained after adsorption also. So hygroscopic substances examples are, see the examples: glycerin, honey, concentrated H2SO4, concentrated NaOH, C2H5OH, CH3OH. See this one: glycerin, honey, concentrated H2SO4, concentrated NaOH, C2H5OH, CH3OH. All these substances are examples for hygroscopic. That means these can absorb moisture and retain in the same physical state. They do not convert into liquid state. Okay, so this is the main difference between deliquescent and hygroscopic substances. Now see the chemical properties of NaOH. Sodium hydroxide exhibit different types of chemical properties. First one is reaction with CO2. Sodium hydroxide, by reacting with CO2, forms NaOH plus CO2, gives rise to Na2CO3 plus H2O. Balance this equation, 2NaCO. See this, 2NaOH plus CO2 gives rise to Na2CO3 plus H2O. Sodium hydroxide, by reacting with carbon dioxide, forms Na2CO3 plus H2O. 2 sodium, product also 2 sodium, reactant side 2 hydrogens, product side 2 hydrogens, oxygens. Here, 2 oxygens in NaOH and 2 oxygens in carbon dioxide. Product side Na2CO3 3 oxygens, there are H2O 1 oxygen, balanced. Now reaction with CO. What is CO? Carbon monoxide. NaOH plus CO gives rise to HCOONA. What is the name? Sodium formate. It is a salt of formic acid. Sodium formate. Next, reaction with SO2. 2NaOH plus SO2 gives rise to Na2SO3. Na2SO3 plus H2O. See the equation, NaOH reacts with sodium dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Sodium hydroxide NaOH reacts with SO2 and form sodium sulfite Na2SO3 plus H2O. Now see the balancing. If I write 2, is it balanced? 2 NaOH plus SO2 gives rise to 2 NaOH. 2 NaOH plus SO2 gives rise to Na2SO3 plus H2O. Reactant side 2 sodium, product side 2 sodium. Oxygen 2 plus 2, 4. 3 plus 1, 4. Hydrogen 2, there 2. Sulfur 1, sulfur 1. Next, see this reaction with sulfur. S plus NaOH. S plus NaOH gives rise to Na2S2O3 plus Na2S. (4S plus 6NaOH gives rise to Na2S2O3 plus 2Na2S. Check the balancing. This side 4 sulfur atoms, that side 4 sulfur atoms. Na2S2O3 2 sulfurs and Na2S 2 sulfurs. 2 plus 2 4. And this side oxygen 6. There oxygen 3. Okay, here how many hydrogens? 6 hydrogens are there. These are not balanced. So other product is 3H2O. Now all the elements are balanced. So equation is 4S plus 6NaOH gives rise to Na2S2O3 plus 2Na2S plus 3H2O. Na2S2O3, what is the name? Sodium thiosulfate, Na2S2O3. Remember this? Na2S2O3, sodium thiosulfate. And Na2S, already we know that, sodium sulfide. Next, reaction with phosphorus, P4. So Na2S2O3 is sodium thiosulfate, Na2S means sodium sulfide. And reaction with phosphorus, P4 plus 3NaOH plus 3H2O gives rise to NaH2PO2 plus PH3. This is phosphine. Reaction with phosphorus, P4 plus 3NaOH plus 3H2O gives rise to 3NaH2PO2 plus PH3. PH3 is a phosphine. It is the hydride of phosphorus. Now, NaH2PO2, its name is sodium hypophosphite. Sodium hypophosphite. It is a salt of hypophosphorus acid. Hypophosphorus acid. So NaH2PO2, sodium hypophosphite. It is a salt of hypophosphorus acid. Its formula is H3PO2. Next, reaction with halogens. Say this. With halogens, what is halogens general representation? X2. So here X means chlorine, bromine, iodine. Anything we can take, Cl, Br, H2. Now check this one. Suppose take Cl2 plus NaOH. Cold dilute NaOH reacts with chlorine to form NaCl plus NaOCl plus H2O. This already we know that sodium chloride. This is sodium hypochlorite. NaOCl, its name is sodium hypochlorite. Same reactants, but concentration is different. Cl2 plus NaOH. Concentrated NaOH, hot concentrated NaOH gives rise to NaCl plus NaClO3 plus H2O. Say this 3Cl2, here 2NaOH, here also 2NaOH. So 3Cl2 plus 2NaOH, hot concentrated NaCl gives rise to 5NaCl plus NaClO3. Here we have to put 6 to balance this one. Put this 3. Okay. So NaClO3, its name is sodium chlorate. Sodium chlorate. Now say this one. With chlorine, sodium hydroxide form different types of compounds. With dilute cold sodium hydroxide reacts with chlorine and form NaCl and NaOCl plus H2O. NaOCl is called sodium hypochlorite, and hot concentrated NaOH reacts with chlorine and form NaCl plus NaClO3 plus H2O. Next reaction is reaction with ammonium chloride. What is the formula? Ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride means NH4Cl. Say this, NaOH plus NH4Cl gives rise to NH3. Ammonia gas is released and by the formation of NaCl plus H2O. Check the balancing. Yeah, equation is balanced. NaOH plus NH4Cl gives rise to NH3 gas and NaCl and H2O. So these are some of the properties of sodium hydroxide.